All right. It usually takes a little minute, but hi everyone. Welcome to Tasty Tuesday. So a couple of things I wanted to say before we get started is number one, we have a thunderstorm. Well, we don't have the storm part. We have the thunder. Well, I don't know, Jeff, would the thunder be the storm?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a thunderstorm with no rain.
It's not on top of us. It's just.
Oh, okay. It's really loud though. And this area that we are in, sometimes with thunderstorms, we lose electricity. So if we do that, we lose internet, of course. So, well, not necessarily, of course, because if we were plugged directly in, would we still lose electricity? I mean, would we still lose internet?
If we lost power, we're going to lose internet.
Oh, is that all over? Like no matter what kind, but except for cable, unless you had cable internet, right?
But then you wouldn't be able to do much with it because, well, unless your computer was on batteries.
No, what I'm saying is, okay. Anyway, so if we lose electricity, we're going to lose internet. But if that happens at any point, don't worry about it. We'll continue on, finish up whatever we're cooking, and then it'll be there for replay because we have it recording as well. Okay, so thunderstorm, but Jeff says it's not going to be over top of us, so it shouldn't affect our electricity. So hopefully. All right, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing really well. Cheers and welcome to Tasty Tuesday. If you have not been here before, what we do is I have surprise ingredients over here. Sometimes you guys pick them. Sometimes Jeff picks them. I'm not sure which avenue we went tonight, so Jeff will fill us in on that in just a minute. But once I get the ingredients, which I have not seen until they're presented to me here live, then I have to cook something up. And I almost always use the Ninja Foodi to do that. It's my favorite small kitchen appliance, but I reserve the right to use the stove or the oven if that would suit the food the best. But so far, I think we've used the Ninja Foodi all in almost every single Tasty Tuesday, don't you think?
Unless we were, I think just about everyone.
Yeah, just about everyone. I thought about using the newer one, the Ninja Speedy, tonight, but just in case I need to pressure cook, I said no, because that's one of the big differences. If you've heard about the Ninja Speedy, it's a cute little thing. It looks like a little box. It's cute. It works fine, but it doesn't pressure cook. So just in case we have some kind of tough meat that needs to be pressure cooked, I'm going to keep my Foodi by me. All right. So what's going on?
Okay. We got 189 people.
Wow. Oh,
that's a good start.
That is a good start.
I'll go through some of the names of people.
Okay, great.
Here. Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Michael Thur.
Hi, Michael.
Flutterdew Fam.
Hi, Flutterdew Fam.
Flutterdew Fam.
I love that. Flutterdew Fam.
And Barbara Wolf says hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Wendy Weatherup says hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Sleepy Owl.
Hi, Sleepy Owl.
Patricia Gutsky.
Hi, Patricia.
Yeah, I know it gets old listening to this call out every
That's okay. Hey, when you are here live and I see your name, I want to say hi.
This also gives us a chance for people to come in. Now
sure.
We're up to 200 now.
Okay. All right, cool.
Debbie Troop, she said
hi,
set
Debbie.
An alarm to make sure she didn't miss it.
Yay. I did too. I took a little nap.
Julie Williamson.
Hi, Julie. Julie, you said?
Julie Raphael Williamson, yeah. Kathy Reichert.
Hi, Kathy.
Kelly Collinson Toper.
Hi, Kelly.
Jill Spencer.
Hi, Jill.
Fred and Mary Williams say hi.
Hi.
Sandra Lee.
Fred Mary.
Cockwill.
Sandra Lee.
Sandra Lee.
Hi, Sandra Lee.
From St.
That's my mom's name, Sandra Lee.
British Columbia.
Yeah, my mom's name is Sandra Lee.
Woman of World is here.
Hi, Woman of World.
Terry Noy. Robert Landrum.
Hi, Terry.
Wyatt.
Hi, Robert.
Terry 1132.
Hi, Terry 1132.
Barbara Thurston says hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Norma Walters.
Hi, Norma.
Roman 2246.
Hi, Roman. Or is it Roman? Raymond. Ramon.
It's Ramon.
Ramon. I think I messed that up on the Q&A too.
Helen Bean says hello from Arizona.
Hi, Helen.
Billy Sue Jimenez says
hello,
hi.
Billy Sue.
Parkins. See, I don't want to miss anybody, but Jeff McDowell.
Hi, Jeff.
Is there with Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
Billy Sue Jimenez says she's from Texas.
Great, wonderful. Have we been? I don't know if. Oh yes, I've been to San Antonio. I went to the Riverwalk. That's where that is, right? San Antonio. Yeah.
Larry Gilbert's here from Champaign, Illinois, and Diane Kruger Socher is here from Illinois as well.
We just
Kansas
went to
City,
Illinois.
Missouri, Shelley Poliote. Poliote, I'm probably pronouncing it.
Hi,
I'm
Shelley.
sure there's a French pronunciation. Annie Huminski
Hi,
in
Annie.
Florida. It'd be cool to have a map. I wish we could do that and pop up a map of where people are from.
Yeah, that would take a lot of
Stuart
time.
Hawes from the UK.
Hi, Stuart. What time is it there?
Catherine
It's
Ryan
quite late, isn't it?
in the UK.
I think so. They're 12 hours.
Yeah,
So,
it's got to be.
well, I don't even think it's 12 hours. So it wouldn't even be 7 a.m. I think it's like the middle of the night.
Stacia says hello.
Hi, Stacia. How are you?
Mildred Acevedo.
Hi, Mildred.
Diane Dolan.
Hi,
Tina
Diane.
Barron, Rebecca Jean.
Hi, Rebecca Jean.
Let's see. Becky Shee. Gary
Hi, Becky.
Spangler,
Hi, Gary from Chicago. I know that
Gary
one.
the Realtor.
Yep, Gary the Realtor from Chicago.
Lori Jones, Denise Carr, Helen Finko, Cheryl Watson Milliner.
Hello,
Gordon says hi, Louise and Jeff.
Hello. Who was that?
Linda Gordon.
Hi, Linda.
Abby H.
Hi, Abby H.
She says, "Ooh, that cocktail looks amazing."
Oh yeah, it's so basic. Okay, so I'll go into that, and then Jeff can give me the ingredients, and we can say hi to some more people after I get the ingredients, just so when people are watching the replay, it's not an hour of saying hi. So I like lime flavored things, and so this is Western Sun lime flavored vodka, which I love. They have different flavors. All of them are really good. So if you can find Western Sun and you like vodka, these are really good. They have a really nice flavor to them. You can see they're not clear because there's actual, like, I would say pulp in there. And then some Sprite Zero, but it was a little too tangy. So I put 2 drops of a blue raspberry sugar-free drink mix in there from Walmart. And then it's this beautiful blue, and it just kind of took that edge off that tanginess from the lime, and it's very, very good. So cheers to everybody. I hope your evening or night or morning is going well. And so what are we doing tonight, Jeff? Am I guessing a recipe?
Yeah, I think you can guess the recipe, but I can also give you the exact recipe if you follow one. So that's your call.
No, I don't follow a recipe.
We have 2 contributors tonight.
Oh.
So, and you'll understand this.
Okay, that's interesting.
So the first one is all from the first contributor in that box that's closest to you.
Okay. So you want me to start unpacking?
Yeah, if you could. Yeah, that's a good place for the box.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we have some green onions. We have a tomato. We have some butter. Oh, good start. Love the butter.
That is milk.
Okay.
So, and that's the amount of milk that the recipe calls for.
Milk. Okay. We have an onion, a green pepper. Oh, these are great ingredients. And we have a couple of potatoes. Oh, this is really turning out to be kind of fun here. 4 potatoes. And then, oh, I'm so glad I have my Ninja Foodie because we definitely have to pressure cook these babies. Okay. Butt country style ribs. So basically pork shoulder or pork butt, but cut into rib shape. These aren't actual ribs. They're boneless. They're just like pork shoulder. Okay. And they're treated as such. So you definitely, in order to get them done in the time that we have tonight, I have to pressure cook them. So awesome. I'm glad I have the pressure cooker. The Ninja Speedy. I could do it, but it would take a really long time, probably like 4 hours or more. Okay, so that's that.
There's a couple more ingredients, but we're going to do chef's choice.
Okay.
Instead of doing audience choice, we're going to do chef's choice tonight for the ingredients.
Okay.
And this recipe is one that was provided by Tina Pfeiffer.
Okay, Tina.
I don't know if Tina's in yet, but she said she was definitely going to be.
Well, I'm really interested. So is this something she wants me to convert to the foodie?
Yeah, she's normally does it in either baked or slow cooked or something like that. I think she says it takes like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. I don't even know how you get those cooked in 40 minutes.
Let me read.
I mean, unless you pressure cook them, they take a long
45 minutes in covered and uncovered, so it's very tender.
Wow. Okay. I don't see any liquid here.
She
So
wanted to see how, I guess you can choose whatever you want. She wanted to see how it would be done in the foodie. So I'll give
Okay.
it whatever liquid.
what seasonings?
The only seasonings are salt and pepper that
Okay.
you have, and then that's going to be in the next thing. So let me hand you your chef's choice here, number
Okay.
1.
So I'm gathering maybe this is a casserole.
Mm-mm.
It's not a casserole. So are the potatoes? So I get to ask some questions, right?
Yeah.
So are the potatoes like a side dish?
No, they're in with everything.
Okay, then it's a casserole.
Oh, I guess it's a casserole.
Because if all these things go in, it's a casserole.
Okay, so here's
Okay, I would think anyway.
choices.
My onion, my garlic sprouting. That's okay. It'll work fine.
garlic
Okay.
with garlic powder. It
Garlic-
called for garlic salt. You don't have any garlic salt here, but I figured.
Oh, I get to choose one or the other.
Yeah, or both, whatever you want to do.
Oh, can I reserve the right to use both?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, and then
Gus, get down, baby.
the next chef's
Gus, sweetie,
choice
get down. You want to cook?
is either almond flour or regular flour.
Okay. So obviously, I'm probably making some kind of a sauce, and since almond flour does not absorb liquid, we're going to go with flour. Okay.
And then creamed corn
Okay. So we're definitely in casserole.
or corn from the cob. Your choice.
Okay. Can I do a deconstructed casserole? Can I do my own spin? Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
Well, I want to be true to the person who recommended this. If they want to see me do it in a casserole form, I want to do that because they want to convert it. Although I'm not sure how they could get it done in 40 minutes. I would not think that those country ribs would cook in the oven in 40 minutes. But maybe, I mean, if they're, oh, wow. Now, what about liquid? This is it? This is all she uses?
Yeah, and according to the instructions she gave me,
Uh-huh.
which is from a recipe book,
Okay.
it says after you put everything together, of course you're gonna sear,
Yeah.
but then cover and bake at 350 for 30 minutes. Remove, cover, bake for 30 minutes longer.
Okay, so it is an hour.
To get the potatoes and everything.
Okay, so it is an hour. But nothing, I guess the juices from the meat. Okay, I'm okay. All right, I can see this. Okay. All right.
And then I've got another thing, which I don't know if you're going to be able to do it all together, and you can also save it for another Tasty Tuesday. And let me make sure. I'm pretty sure this is from Sue Picciano.
Gosh, what should I do?
Yeah, so this is from Sue Picciano. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. She wanted you to do something with squash and or zucchini. You could do it with this, you could do it as a side, or you can save it for another day.
Well, I mean, all of the ingredients go together. I mean, it really. Let's do the casserole, okay? Let's do that. It's going to be one pot, and we're going to get the meat searing and cooking first. And that way I'll have time to prep the vegetables. So let's go ahead and do a casserole. Let's go ahead and do it. I think that's going to make it pretty easy for people. Now, I don't want to use all this in case I mess it up. Did she say how many pounds that her recipe calls for?
2.5, so half a pound less than what you have.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna break this in half though. There's no, first of all, it's just Jeff and me, and or is it Jeff and I or Jeff and me? Mr. English. Okay. So let's do the casserole. Okay. I think it's gonna be good. Okay, I do have a question, just because if I'm gonna do it the way that the recipe called for, let me think this through. Are the potatoes diced or sliced?
They are.
So meanwhile, let's get the meat going. I can't. So, okay, I'll talk about this in a minute because this is what I can't. This is why I don't do videos with this because I can't see. And then I'm all over the cutting board trying to do a video. People complain. Okay, we're just going to get that heated up.
So this says 4 medium potatoes, pared, sliced.
Okay. Paired.
It says
Peeled?
Pared. It says paired.
Maybe that means peeled. Like paired, like a paring knife? I don't think I've ever heard that. Oh, well, look. This is 4. So, I mean, that's enough for us, but do you want me to just do the whole thing?
No, because they're good ribs. They're expensive. So just do what we're probably going to eat.
Okay.
How many are left in there then?
4.
There's 4 left?
Yeah.
There's 4 there?
Yeah, but look how once they render their fat.
Oh.
I mean, some are better than, some are.
Well, do you think they'll do something with them? Or
no, I'm just going to cook them up. It's not that many. All right, let's just cook them up. Because we got a lot of other ingredients. And I think if we want to do a casserole, most of the time when people are doing casseroles, they are doing it for a family or for leftovers, right? I mean, that's usual, right? So let's just do the whole thing. That way, if you want to follow along. So sometimes I get these recipes up, but a lot of times I don't have time to get them up. So people actually watch this to make the recipe. Okay.
A lot of people were saying to do pork stew.
Yeah. I mean, a pork soup would be nice, but that's not what. And I'm sorry, could you tell me again who was it? Tina, you said?
Yeah, Tina Pfeiffer.
Okay, Tina Pfeiffer. So Tina Pfeiffer makes this as casserole. So let's do that in the foodie and let's see how it works out. So I'm just going to use salt, pepper, and garlic powder on the ribs. I'm not measuring, but I would guess about 1/2 teaspoon probably. And then I need some olive oil. Can you grab that, Jeff? I only have that big container though. So I'm using about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 on each side of each salt and pepper. Oops, I didn't put the garlic on that side. Oh, well. No biggie. And then you just pour enough in just to kind of get the bottom coated lightly. And about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I would say that was like 1/4 teaspoon of, I use fine grind sea salt or kosher salt. It's fine. Either one's fine. And then let's put some of this on. I don't want to overdo it. Whenever I'm using spices for meat that I'm going to sear, I almost always use dried, okay? Almost always. And then if I'm using them in a broth or something, sometimes I'll use fresh, sometimes I'll use dry, sometimes I'll use a combination. But I find if you put like fresh, I mean, I could saute garlic in there, but it's not going to get the flavor onto the meat. So I find it easier to use dry. And same thing, probably about 1/4 teaspoon on each side of these, if that, maybe not even that much. Okay, that's done. Now we'll wait for this to heat up and then we will sear these off and go under pressure. Okay, so.
Since you used oil, you probably don't need to use the butter since it was oil or butter. And I gave you butter. So you could either add a little butter to it for flavor or skip it altogether or use it some other way if you want.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Very interesting because, and this is what I'm thinking through in my head right now. I need to par cook these potatoes. So I think when I pressure cook these, I'm going to pressure cook those whole. And are they washed yet?
What?
The potatoes.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to wash the potatoes and I'm going to put them in whole. That's going to get everything started so that they can par cook while these par cook.
Here.
Then we'll add everything else on and we'll finish up our casserole. But like this tomato's kind of throwing me off a little bit. It's kind of, oh, I thought that was thunder. It's kind of an interesting thing. I'm assuming, And you said the potatoes are sliced, right?
You did have an onion there, right?
I do have an onion.
So the onion was, onion and pepper are diced and not all of them is used.
Now I wonder, does the tomato make the sauce?
No. The tomato is a garnish,
The tomato is a garnish.
as is the green onions.
They're
Cold garnish.
a cold garnish. A cold garnish. That is so
On top of
interesting.
the-
Sorry, but that's got pork guts. Okay.
See a picture of it?
Yeah, I do. Oh, this looks amazing. Can they won't be able to see, will they?
Not really, kinda.
It's amazing. It's amazing looking. I love this. I feel like it needs bacon. Okay. Wow, this is really nice.
You want to go real quick over the ingredients for people who have shown up? Because we're at 255 people.
Okay.
30 of those are.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what we have is from Tina, and this is a casserole dish that she bakes in the oven, and she wanted to see how I would go about doing it in the foodie. And it's a pork style ribs, which are pork shoulder or pork butt that are cut into rib shape. They're not really ribs. They don't have bones, nothing like that. But it's a fatty, tough cut of meat that requires a long cook time in order to tenderize. Now, this recipe says an hour. Like, I would think it would take longer than that, honestly, in an oven. So what I'm doing, and I'm not doubting the recipe, I'm just saying in my experience, I would probably cook it longer. So what I'm doing is I'm searing them now in some oil. They're seasoned with salt and pepper. And then I'm going to get this and the potatoes pressure cooking for a few minutes. And I've got to think about liquid, because I do need a little liquid, but I need to be really super careful with the liquid. Because if I use too much liquid, then this is going to end up being soup instead of a casserole. So I need to be really careful. I'm also trying to think whether or not I'm going to use creamed corn that the recipe calls for, or whether I'm going to go ahead and use fresh corn. I have not decided yet. Either will be fine. Either will be delicious. Both would be even better, which is kind of where I'm leaning. But it's a beautiful casserole. I mean, it's beautiful looking. I guess the potatoes are underneath of it, which my potatoes are not going to be underneath, but they could be, I guess, if I took everything out, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so I'm searing these now, so let's go ahead and flip them. And then I'm going to need a little bit of water or a little bit of liquid. And I don't pressure cook with milk just because it scalds and it doesn't do well, so I'm not going to use that. I think I'm
have water, chicken stock, or wine or beer. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's do some beer. Beer or wine?
Yeah.
Let's do a little beer. You have a beer?
Yes, I'm not drinking. I got some.
Okay, yeah, we'll just pour a little beer in. And I'm only going to do probably, this is a 6.5 quart, so I'm probably going to just try to put in like a 1/4 cup of beer. Very, very minimal, because as we pressure cook, these ribs are going to really start to tenderize. All right. Give off liquid. I'm thinking ahead of myself. They'll give off liquid, so I don't want to put too much in the beginning. So let's see. I think we're done searing yet. Oh, that was smart. I just slammed the beer on the on the countertop. That was real smart. All right. I don't know. This is beautiful. I may end up taking these out and putting them the way the casserole is because I am really liking the way that their casserole looks. And I think I can achieve that pretty much. All right. So let's go put in about a 1/4 cup of beer. That's about it. And then we're going to put these on top just like that, just 4 washed potatoes. And we're going to close this up. And why didn't it close right? Probably because I cleaned this ring today. And this ring is hard to go in. You have the right pot in there, right?
It's the one that was in there. It looks like the right one.
It looks like the right one. I can't get my lid to close. It's this ring. It's not in right. This is, oh, there, I snapped it in. Okay. Okay. So I can't really see. So I've got to lean way over. All right, what am I doing? Pressure cook, right? I got to switch my, oh, you know what? This one you have to turn off and on. That's another reason I don't use it on camera. All right, so let's just go 15 minutes of pressure. Oh my gosh, is that going to be enough? When I do my country ribs, do I do them for 25 minutes or 20 minutes? Okay, let's split the difference. Let's do 18 and hit start. Okay, let's do that. Now, let me get my cutting board cleaned up, and then I will start prepping the rest of the vegetables. This is fun. This is a good one. This is definitely something that I will like. I mean, I think Jeff will too. Any comments, any questions, anything you want to?
Yeah, Mark Grimes said bone broth would have been really good. A couple people like that. A couple people like the idea of beer and pork together. Rose Johnson said maybe a little tomato juice liquid.
That would be thick, so that would cause the same problems going under pressure because it would be a little too thick, most likely, depending on the tomato juice, but usually. Now the whole tomato, the reason why I asked Jeff earlier in the video, really fast and provides a lot of juice.
We lost feed or something happened. Hold on.
Oops.
It says we're still live. Okay, we're back. I don't know what's going on.
That's weird. I'm sure we're still live. Okay.
We're still live.
Okay. All right. Corn. Okay. Are these washed? Is everything washed or not washed?
Nothing is washed yet. I
Okay.
can wash it.
Yeah. Why don't you do? Well, this is a cold one, but you might as well just wash everything and then I'm ready to go. Okay. Now, some people wash their onions. I don't. I mean, I guess I can see the point. So I'm thinking all this is like sliced and layered. That's how I'm going to go with it anyway. So let's go ahead and this cut off. Cut off. And Jeff will get into the comments. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just start leaving them and Jeff will read them in just a minute while I'm prepping some of this stuff. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be good. I need to sharpen my knife. Thank you. Ooh. That was a knife faux pas there, huh? And I can't do that whole guarding with your what do you call it? You know how they do that? I can't do it. I've tried a million times. I just can't.
Most people say they don't wash their onions.
Yeah.
Because you're not using the part that's exposed.
Yeah, I know. I think people do some people do because you run your knife through it to cut the peel off, but I don't.
Mark Grimes says spider grip, Louise.
I can't do it. I can't. I've tried a million times. I can't do it. People make fun of me all the time, and that's okay. You make fun of me all you want. I'm not going to say I've never cut myself because that would not be true. I have cut myself, but never doing this. Never doing this. Usually it's something stupid, like I reach in and grab the food processor blade from the sink, or I'm putting a knife away and I cut myself, something stupid like that. Okay, now these are garnished. This I'm going to bake in. So we're going to use this in the dish because I think there's like onion, zucchini, and squash go so nicely together. So this is going to be good. I'm so excited. All right. Any questions, any comments, any concerns?
Let's see. Mark Grimes says, you're making me notice you have no mise en place tonight. I guess it's the nature of the...
Yeah, you can't. I don't know what the ingredients are until I get them and I'm live already. So I can't prep anything because I don't have anything to prep. This is not a recorded video. This is not an edited video. This is a live video where Jeff gives me ingredients and I have to cook dinner live. I've never seen these ingredients together before tonight. And tonight it was somebody, Tina has a casserole that she likes to make and she makes in the oven. She wanted me to show how to do it, how I would do it anyway in the foodie, because obviously there's several different ways you could do it. This is the way I'm doing it. And then Sue wanted to add in some zucchini and squash to the mix. And so we're adding those in and it's a casserole and it's going to be great. I still haven't decided about the corn. I'm almost going for both. I love corn. I mean, I love corn.
Kathy Pisaric says, I thought zucchini and squash were the same vegetable.
They kind of are, okay? They kind of are, but they're both squash. And they call this zucchini, or what's the other word? It's like they call it yellow squash. Some people call this green squash. I've always called it zucchini. But in the UK, it's called something totally different. It's got a real fun name, and I can't remember what it is.
And what is summer squash?
Yellow squash.
That's called summer squash?
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah. But growing up, I always called this squash, and I called this zucchini. So, and zucchini bread, which is very popular, is made with the green. But I think they're both considered squash. I think, anyway.
Betty Davis likes the idea of using both corns.
I do too. For texture. And I don't even know if I don't know. I've got to figure out. Oh, I've got some decisions to make when this is done pressure cooking. Let me make sure I am on cue.
I think that's what they're calling it.
Isn't that an eggplant though?
I don't know. I'll Google it.
Oh, maybe that is it. Okay, look, this corn has baby corn. I can honestly say in all my life, I have never, ever, ever gotten ear corn like that. How cute is that? So, of course, this is not good for anything, but it had little baby corn. How cute. I'm going to go over here so I can just get this shot.
So courgette is a zucchini.
Okay. So what's an eggplant in the UK called? Because I don't think it's eggplant. I think it's something else.
In the UK, eggplant is aubergine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
However that's pronounced.
Yeah. Those are fun names.
John Freese called it good luck corn.
Yeah. That was kind of cool. All right. What a great summer dish this is, right? This is great. Gus, why are you just sitting here? Is that Callie?
Yeah, Callie fell asleep behind you because she doesn't like the storm.
Oh. Callie is snoring behind me. Gus is standing here by the trash can, hoping I drop something, but I'm not going to. Okay, now I got to figure out, do you know where my, I'm like running out of room here. Do you know where my corn peeler is? Come on, guys, you're in my way.
No, I don't.
Oh, here it is. Okay, let's, all right, let's get these all in here, which I'm doing it backwards because I really want the onions to go in first. So I should have put those in the bowl last, right? Making things more difficult.
Another bowl.
Nah, I want to keep it difficult. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them around the sides. Okay. Anything going on out there in internet land, Mr. Long? All right. Okay, now I'm going to use this tool, and it works wonderfully, but I don't work it wonderfully, okay? Because I haven't used it enough. And I have a recipe coming up for skillet corn, and I need to practice because if you get the corn kernels off of a lot of ears of corn, like canning or even freezing or anything, this is a gem. But there's a certain technique, and I never seem, well, see, I'm getting it all over the place, but there's a certain feel for it. So you kind of have to go down, and you want to get far enough in, but not too far. It's kind of a feel. And then I'm messing it up. I know there's an easier way to do it. I can't remember how to do it because it's been so long. And of course, I'm making a mess. But I love this thing. But I'm really screwing it up. I'm really making a mess, aren't I? Yep, all over my countertop and everything. It doesn't work going into a bowl, okay? So that didn't work for me either. Maybe a shallow kind of tray. Maybe that would work better. I don't know.
Mark Grimes says he has a tool for that. It's called a knife.
I know. But this really does a good job if you use it correctly. And it feels cumbersome this way. So I always stand it up, but I'm wondering, no, that feels even weirder. But I remember one year I did a lot of corn, and I got to the point where I could do this in like 2 seconds. So I could do an ear of corn in 2 seconds. And I didn't have this I'm not getting the corn kernels down enough, because if you go down further, you get the milk, the corn milk. And that is really nice to put in with the corn when you freeze it, because it creates a little bit of liquid and it really helps to keep the corn nice.
Diane Key said
This is ridiculous.
she's seen people using like the middle of a bundt pan, putting the corn in the middle of a bundt pan.
Oh, smart. Well, I'm done now, or I would have done that. But anyway, it really does work. I thought I had four.
Danielle suggested starting halfway up and then flip and do the other half.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, too. I had 4 ears of corn. Anyway, that's okay. I only need 3. It doesn't matter.
One was a baby piece.
Yeah, but I still thought I
I
shucked.
only brought you 3.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how many would equal a can of corn.
Okay.
To give you the option.
No problem. No problemo. All right. So we are working on that. I've made my mess now. Now there's nothing to do until Oh, that's good corn. Until we're ready to put it all together. But I think I'm going to need to put my corn into something just to get it off of here so I want to take the ribs out.
So Sue finally got here.
Hi, Sue.
And she said, yay, zucchini. Yes, this was your suggestion, Sue. So I added it with somebody else's ingredients, and she's going to include it in this casserole.
Yep, it's perfect. They go perfectly with this. Now, I'll tell you, there's nothing like just sauteed zucchini, squash, and onion. I mean, that's like one of my favorite simple side dishes for the summer. I absolutely love it.
There's a lot of people that got in late who'd love to know what's going on in the pot.
Okay, so what's in the pot are pork country ribs, which is pork butt or pork shoulder, same thing, just different names.
You can also get loin country ribs.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, but they're a lot leaner. And
Oh.
I figured they'd take a longer time to get tender. So
Okay, interesting. Now, are hers, in her recipe, was it pork loin?
It actually says back, country style back ribs, which I don't know what that means. And all I saw were pork loin ribs.
Country style
And
back ribs. Pork, though.
Pork. Country style back ribs. Here, I'll show you.
Interesting. I'm not sure I know what that is, to be honest with you. I mean, they're not actual pork ribs, right? I mean, are they actual bone-in pork ribs that I'm supposed to be using? Because that would change everything.
I don't think so, because they say it still says country style. It actually says 2.5 pounds meaty country style pork back ribs.
All right, we need to Google that. We need to find out what that is. Because this is where the confusion comes in. There are so many different names. And there's so many different cuts of meat. And one doesn't act like the other, right? So these country ribs are like a pork shoulder, okay? You know how tough a pork shoulder is. But if they're actual ribs, that's a different story. We're still going to make this work, though. So anyway, I seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and I seared the ribs. I put them in the pot to pressure cook for 18 minutes with about a 1/4 cup of beer, and 3 or 4 whole potatoes are in there too. And I left them whole with the skin on. First of all, I hate peeling potatoes. Secondly, a lot of vitamins are in the skin. Thirdly, it's just easier to just do it like that. And then I'm going to slice them up. It's going to create the base for our casserole.
So this just got more confusing, because if you look it up and you look up country style pork back ribs, there isn't a straight answer, but most answers come back and say that country style means that they're not ribs.
Okay.
They're meat that's cut to look like the shape of a rib.
Okay.
But
That's what I've always
back
thought.
ribs are like what everybody's used to, ribs. Like baby back.
Well, baby backs, yeah. Well, anyway, it's all confusing. It's confusing to me. It's confusing. All right, we just wait now. We have to wait. There's nothing else to really do. I'm looking around to try to figure out whether there's something else to do. But really, I don't want to start prepping this stuff on my cutting board, because I need to get the potatoes out and sliced up. And I need to get the, what do you call those things? The ribs, whatever the kind of ribs they are. They're not ribs, though. They're pork butt cut to look like ribs. Okay, what am I drinking? This is Western Sun lime vodka, which they have all different kinds of flavors. If you can find it, I highly recommend it if you're a vodka fan. Really nice flavor, and it actually has like some of the pulp and stuff in there. So kind of think about like if you've ever had Deep Eddy grapefruit, that's kind of what these are like. Of course, obviously this is lime, not grapefruit. A little bit of Sprite Zero, and I made it in my blender with ice. So it was an actual ice drink, but it was a little too puckery, limey for me. So I put in a couple drops of a sugar-free blue raspberry like drink mix thing. So I put a couple drops in there and that like made it blue and pretty, and otherwise it was completely white. So now it's pretty and it really tasted good. Now it's kind of diluted a little bit, but it's all right. All right, we've got 10 minutes. I'm going to do an immediate release. And I know that's going to be contrary to what a lot of people have been taught. Like when you're doing meats and stuff, you should always do a natural release. These are pretty fatty. I'm not worried about drying them out. And I just want to move on with the recipe. So I don't see any problem doing an immediate release. Now, if I was writing a recipe, it depends. I might add in a 5-minute natural release, but probably not. Probably not. Then what I'm going to do is pull the ribs out, pull the potatoes out in reverse order because the potatoes are on top. I'm going to slice the potatoes up. Then I'm going to get the oil and I'm going to add some butter to it with the juices and all that stuff. And I'm going to try to add in this flour because this apparently does have a sauce with it. Then we're going to layer our potatoes in there and get everything else layered up. And then we're going to air crisp to finish everything up. Hope it's good.
So Tina chimed in. Tina's the one that gave us the recipe. She said, when I buy them, they normally say country style pork ribs.
Okay.
I try to find packs that have small bones on one end. Of course, at Walmart, you get what you get.
Okay. So if they have bones, that's not country style pork ribs because they do not have bones.
Even though they're labeled country style. See, that's
country
style thing is confusing.
Because if they're cut from the pork butt, now I mean there is a bone in the pork butt, but I just can't. Where are you from? That might even be another thing. Like what state? Because every state is different. So maybe we can look it up by state. But anyway, these are going to work just fine.
She also said she's done bone and boneless, and her husband just says the ones with the bones taste better.
Probably
that's pretty subjective. A lot of people don't like the bones.
Yeah, and probably because they cook better in your dish. They're smaller and you're using the oven. So they probably work out better. Now that we're pressure cooking them, I don't think it's going to much matter. But these were pretty thick. They were like a typical country style pork rib, boneless, which is normal. I don't think I've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying that they're not out there because there's a million things I haven't seen that are out there. But I don't think I've ever seen country style pork ribs with bones.
Sherry Montgomery asked if she uses her crock pot with these ingredients, can she just cook for like 5 or 6 hours?
Yes, but you wouldn't want to put your vegetables in right away. Okay. So it would be something that you could do what I just did, and you could do your slow cooker and slow cook them. That would be fine. I probably wouldn't even add in the beer if you're not going to pressure cook, because by the time that the slow cooker heats up and everything, you're going to render the fat from the ribs, and that's going to create the liquid that you need. So yeah, it would be perfectly fine. I mean, you could put the onions in if you wanted to. That would be no problem because it'll add some flavor. But if you're going to add the zucchini and the squash, I would not put those in. They'll just turn to complete mush in that time. So either skip that or add them in like towards the end. Now you won't be able to crisp things up with the slow cooker. So it'll be a little bit different, but still be good.
Tina says she's found them everywhere. So from California to South Carolina and everywhere in between.
I've never seen
them with bones on. But every time I've seen country style ribs out,
I've never seen bone. No, I mean, now you can get a pork shoulder with bone, but there's only one. So you see what I mean? Like there's only one bone there. They couldn't possibly slice it so that each of these ribs has a bone. So I'm thinking we're talking about two different things. Which is common because everything's called so many different things. It's crazy. Let's see. And you're sure they're not beef? Because I'm almost thinking like maybe the flanken style beef ribs. They have those little bones, but they have bones all along them. The flanken beef ones. Okay. You know, they're the short ribs, but they're sliced crossways. And so they've got those little bones, remember, that go all the way up the rib. I'm looking up country style beef ribs with bones.
A lot of people definitely are on board with the what the internet says about country style ribs are not ribs, but that still doesn't mean that you can't have a bone. Depends on where it
Well,
comes
but the
from.
thing is, if they're okay, so if you look at what the pork shoulder is where it's cut from, there's only that one bone. How could they? There's only that one bone. How?
Yeah, you're not going to have little.
You're not going to have
at the end of each piece. No.
No. So that's what's confusing me. So I'm doing a search for country style pork ribs with bones.
In Northeast PA, this is from Mary Lou Caleo. I guess that's in NEPA, Northeast PA, country style ribs. What she say? Where'd it go?
See,
country style pork ribs have a bone.
Now this says here, like this is a 101 cooking for two. So this is a recipe, bone in country style pork roast. Well, now my eyes will be peeled in the grocery store for bone in, because that confuses me.
Mark Garner said, just getting in here, is that Maria tacos in that pot?
No, no, it's pork country ribs. But let's see. Oh, okay. Got it. Here we go. Country style ribs aren't ribs at all, but blade steaks or chops cut from the blade portion of the loins, shoulder end. They often include part of the upper rib bones, though they may be boneless. They have lots of connective tissue and fat, making them ideal for barbecue, not unlike real ribs. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I totally understand that. That kind of goes back to what you were saying, the pork loin style. So that
which they did have.
Yeah.
They were leaner and probably would have taken longer to get tenderized.
Okay. Okay. So there we go.
How about a happy birthday shout out to Debbie Hurd? It's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Debbie. Hope you're having a wonderful day. All right. Well, we learned something. I learned something today, which I love, because it's impossible to know everything, right? Nobody knows everything, especially when it comes to, well, nobody knows everything anyway. And if somebody tells you they do, they don't. But with cooking,
else hasn't seen that kind of ninja before. They said, "Is that a new?"
Oh, okay. This Ninja is the one lid model. So basically, this is the air fryer lid and the pressure lid. And I get asked all the time, do I love it? Do I That's live. I did. I accidentally touched it. It scared me. Oh, so I was talking about it. I accidentally just went like that, but I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, okay, there we go, live. One of those funny things.
Well, Mark Grimes asked how many drinks you've had.
No, I haven't. This is it. Like 2 sips, 3 sips. Okay, so that was so funny. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay, so this is the one lid model, and people ask me all the time, first of all, are you going to make recipes in it? Anytime I make a recipe, you can do it in there, whether I use this model or the other model, because they have the same functions. If one of my recipes or anybody's recipe calls for pressure cook, you use pressure cook on this. If it uses air fry, you use air fry on this, and they work the same. The only little nuance differences is obviously big one lid, which is nice, but it comes with some limitations, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But the steam function also is a little bit different, because there are vents all throughout this lid. Whereas when you steam on the 2 lid model, you've got the pressure lid, and it's just that one little vent that you manually put over to vent. So steaming takes a little bit longer from what I've heard. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of testing with that, but from what I've heard from people, it's taking much longer to steam their vegetables than it did in the 2 lid model. And when I say much longer, 3 minutes longer, maybe. Something like that. And what else? There was something else that's a little different. Oh, the sous vide function on this. I've heard a lot of reports that the temperatures are not as accurate. And I'm wondering whether or not it's the heat loss from all these vents in the lid that aren't sealed off completely, unless you're under pressure cook like I am right now. So that's kind of interesting. The Downside to the one lid is being able to stack meals. Like I like to put 3 layers of food in my Ninja Foodie, and I can do that in the 6.5 quart using pans, underneath the rack. So I have a layer in the bottom of whatever I'm making. And then I have something else, underneath the rack. And then a small, like 6-inch Fat Daddy-O that sits on top. And I can put the pressure lid on because it's domed. But this, it has the coil there, so you can't do that. So you really can't do the 3-layered meals in the 6.5 quart Ninja Foodie. Now, I think the 8 quart, what? Yeah.
Oh, that's just starting your pressure.
It's stopping it. So I'm going to release now.
Okay.
So this is going to be loud. Nothing I can do about it. It's not really that loud.
No, what is loud is the fan on the air crisp or whatever they call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It is. It is loud. Yep. All right. Let me think about all this. Trying to think moving forward here. Now we're going to get to doing this.
So Mark Grimes said steam and crisp is so much better than steam than air fry, but didn't you kind of shoot that theory down?
I mean, I don't see any differences. I use steam and then air fry, and it turned out great for me. Now, it's easy if you have something that you're cooking that steam time is enough time. Like I did steam and crisp broccoli, which I really liked. I really did enjoy that quite a bit. And that might get a little cumbersome, like in the 2-lid model, switching between. But when I did a whole chicken using steam crisp, and then I did a whole chicken using steam and then crisp, I thought the results were amazing in both models. So I didn't see any difference whatsoever. But that's a longer cook time. So maybe you're talking about shorter cook times where just hitting one button is easier. And that certainly is true.
Here's something that Amber found. It's pork loin.
Yeah, the pork loin. Yep.
With bone in.
Yep. I don't know why I've never seen them, but it's kind of one of those things that now that's all I'm going to see at the grocery store, right? Like I've never seen them. I've always grabbed the ones that have that are boneless. I think now is my recipe that I have on my website, does it have bone? I don't think they have bones in them. I've never cooked bone in. No, really interesting. But now pork chops and stuff, I like them with the bone. I really do, because it adds more flavor, I think. But I don't usually get meat with bones in them that often because Jeff doesn't like the bones, even though they add flavor and stuff. He doesn't really like it. So we're usually boneless family. Unless we're eating ribs, because then we get ribs. St. Louis style is what I like. All right. I hope these are tender enough. They should be. I mean, we're still gonna air crisp a little bit. So I like to see how much liquid came out. That's gonna be interesting. Now I'll get my clean tongs here.
It looks like that fan is keeping the steam away from the lens, right?
Yeah, I think so. All right, it should be telling me I can open up the lid anytime. All right, this is another reason why I don't like to cook with this one, because of the way it opens. It's kind of weird. All right, so let's get our potatoes out. Now we've got quite a bit of liquid here. Gosh, almost more than I want for a casserole. But Lord, I don't want to go through the problems of having to, oops, look at me. I'm so silly. I don't want to dump this. What am I going to do? I'm going to thicken it up. That's what I'm going to do.
So the flour that you have there as
Yeah.
an ingredient was actually for coating the before you even cook them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Make your...
But that would create a problem with the going under pressure. I mean, maybe not that little bit, but what I'm going to do is try to make that gravy. First of all, I'm going to check, make sure these are tender enough. I think I'm just going to make that gravy the hard way, which is not hard, but if you're not patient, you'll end up getting a little lumps sometimes. So I'll try to be patient. I mean, these are the decisions. Oh, those are good. Gus, you don't get any. This is so hard for me to see. I can't even. I can't do that. This is why I can't cook on camera with it. Because imagine how I'm going to have to try to, got all this here. How am I going to reach all the way over there and change this function? Very, very, very difficult because I'm so short. But that's the only reason why I don't use it. All right, I'm going to go on sear saute for a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of butter in, just to about 2 tablespoons. We're going to start to make our sauce, which I'm assuming is in the casserole. I'm assuming. I didn't really read the instructions, but I'm assuming. And then we're going to add in some flour. I know some people will say add the flour to some cold water and shake it up. I've never had luck doing that, unfortunately. So I do it this way, which I should really sift it in. But we're just going to lay it on top where the grease is. And let it absorb. And then, what am I doing, Jeff?
Making gravy.
I was going on to the next thing and then I lost my train of thought. Oh, I need a can opener. That's what I need. All right. I don't know where my can opener is. You would think I would know these things by now. Oh, it's way over here. Did you turn the air conditioning off?
Yeah, it was really loud.
It's very hot. He does this to me and then I'm start to sweat. All right. Well, that didn't turn out too bad. So now I'm making like a little gravy. That looks really good. No lumps. No lumps. I'm so happy.
Somebody suggested putting the Ninja Foodie on a Lazy Susan to spin it, which doesn't really work for video because it'll never get back in the right place.
And the problem is that people want to see what buttons I'm pushing. Like if they can't clearly see what buttons I'm pushing, they ask questions about it. So people like really watch the videos because they want to see exactly what I'm doing. So I want that to always face. And it's very difficult. Now I can cook with this when it's facing me, like no problem. But it is pretty difficult when it's this other way.
Chase Ilsley said, first time here for Tasty Tuesday. Do you stream this late for the audience or do you guys eat late dinner usually?
It is,
we eat this late is
yeah, it's for the audience mostly because I don't want to catch people during dinner time. All right, that looks really, really good. The meat tastes good. My potatoes are very hot. And they're a little bit overcooked, but it's going to be okay. Woo, they're hot. Hot, hot, hot. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for a minute because we don't need that boiling away. All right, so now I'm thinking that in her recipe, the potatoes go on the bottom because what I saw was these beautiful pork ribs on the top. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know because I didn't really study the recipe or anything. And I'm making kind of a mess of this. But it's going to be delicious anyway, right?
Okay, I turned the AC back on.
Thank you, thank you, thank
It
you.
got up to 75.
Yeah, it's too hot. I can't. It's
There might not be there might be some background noise and it might just
ooh.
mix in with all the cooking noises, so it doesn't matter.
Now, my goal here was not to have these potatoes so done that they're kind of falling apart. My goal was that they would be just kind of par cooked so that they were easier to slice. So to fix that, if I was to make this again, I would get bigger potatoes, bigger width potatoes, or I would take the pressure cook time down a little bit. I think the ribs are nice and tender, but I think that taking them down a couple of notches would have been fine too, like a couple of, when I say notches, I mean minutes. So maybe 15 minutes, and see if we could get these potatoes to where they're perfectly cooked instead of just slightly over. But
Sin Heath said, oh.
And they're hot.
Oh, wait, that was.
I'm only using 3 though.
Was,
I'm going to use this in something else because I don't need 4 potatoes of this.
Pamela Chahada or Chahada said, are those onions going in now without searing first?
Yep. Yep.
That's going to be like mashed potatoes.
They are. Yeah, they're overcooked. Yep. Oh, I got to get my corn in too. So we're going to put the corn in with the potatoes. That's like going to be our base to the casserole. And I'm going to give it a mix around. It looks amazing. It looks really good. I didn't even salt or pepper anything. I'm going to have to do that. Like you have to season each layer. You can't, that would be horrible. It just looks.
Somebody was asking about putting in thyme and Worcestershire sauce.
I wouldn't put in Worcestershire sauce, but you could put in thyme if you wanted to, a little bit. But I'm staying true to the recipe, which is basically just salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder, which I already used. I like pepper, so I'm going to add a little bit more than you might like to add. All right. So now we've got the base here, which is really just, it's a gravy, it's corn, it's potatoes, and I'm sure it's nothing like the recipe calls for. Now, hindsight, probably could have see if I would have pressure cooked those though for 20 minutes or 18 minutes, they would have been horrible. They would have been just mush. But I could have put some in for flavor. But I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to put all this on.
What do you think of this suggestion from Rose Johnson? Maybe make the potato ahead and put in the fridge to cool before cutting.
Yeah, you could do that. Absolutely. You could do that. All right. Get the rest of these on here. Then we're going to air crisp. I'm not sure this saves any time from the oven recipe, to be honest with you. But I will say that these ribs in the oven, I don't think would cook in that hour to be like perfectly tender. I really don't. But I'd have to make it to find out. Maybe it would. All right, a little bit of salt and pepper. And now the ribs are going to go back on. And then we are going to air crisp.
Dixie's here a little, she said better late than never. Right?
Hey, Dixie. Now I got to pick my time. And my temperature. And this is like when I'm doing it for the first time, it's kind of like a guessing game, really. So we're going to close the lid. Where are my buttons to select there, right?
Yep.
I don't even know how to use this thing. No, I use this. So we're going to go to air fry. And then we're going to go on, we're going to go on 375. And I'm just going to hit 20 minutes. I don't think it's going to take that long, but that's what we're going to hit. And then we'll just see what happens. See if these crisp up, see if everything else will cook. The bottom layer I know is going to be delicious. The middle layer I'm a little bit like, I don't know. We'll see if it's enough time.
Did you decide to skip the pepper?
I put pepper in.
No, the green pepper.
Isn't that garnish?
No, the green onions are garnish.
Oh.
The green onions and the tomato are garnish.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I thought the green, I'm sorry. I thought you said the green pepper was garnish.
Now the green
So-
pepper was diced like the onion,
Oh.
and you probably don't need the whole thing. It was like 3/4 of a cup or something.
Yeah, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping it. But I would put that in where I would put, where I put the other thing in. The what do you call it? I'm a little discombobulated right now. My brain's thinking way ahead of me. And I'm flipping hot in here right now. So I don't care what the noise is. We're not turning off the air conditioner for Tasty Tuesday until it's winter. Because it's not fair. I shouldn't have to sweat. Let's see. What was I going to say, Jeff? I'm losing my mind here. All right, I got nothing. Tell me how you're feeling. I got nothing. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Tina Weatherby Boyd says, I think y'all need help eating that. Looks delicious.
I'm sure. Yeah, this is like enough for 6 people. These little corn kernels are driving me crazy. That could be a little bit why I'm a little bit going crazy here, because they are driving me insane seeing them. And if Amber's watching, I know she's counted them, and she's probably going to message me about how I could have cleaned them up. So I'm trying, Amber.
Okay, so somebody said she
can't reach
the tomato, but she did not. The tomato is actually goes with the green onion as a garnish.
The garnish, which is really interesting. So, one little fun little fact about me. I think it's funny, hysterical, really. This is driving me bananas. Like, I've got to get it out of my way, and it has to be cleaned off, like straight away. Like right away, I need to get this out of my face. Same thing if I go out to eat. So, or if I go, like, say Jeff and I are sitting at a bar having a cocktail. If there's one little ring on the bar,
What are you doing with this?
I'm freaking out. That we're gonna eat later, do something else with. But yeah, thank you. So if we're having a cocktail and there's like a water ring on the bar, I have to get a napkin and clean it off. I have to. I just have to. And then if we're eating dinner somewhere, as soon as we're done, the plates need to get like away from me. Like I can't just have them sitting in front of me. Drives me bananas. So that's a little fun fact. A little one of those weird things that people have. That's mine. I just can't. It's And I'm not a clean freak either. That's what's kind of funny. Is I'm not. Now I could walk out of here and leave it all here. And that wouldn't bother me at all. Like I could go in the other room as long as I don't see it, whatever. So it's not like that. But if it's in front of me, I'm like, oh, I can see it. All right. Let's see. Not even 5 minutes in, but I'm going to peek anyway. Because I think this is where it's going to all start to happen magically. I'm excited. I don't know if it saved any time, though. It's okay, Gus. I know, babe. I know. I can't pet you right now, sweetheart. I can't. Okay, all right. You know what? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can pet you. I'll just wash my hands. And I can kiss you. I love you. Okay. All right. But don't get on the counter. Come on, Gus. No. No. Gussie. Oh, Gus. All right. We're going to put Gus out for a little bit because he's starting to get a little antsy. And then let's see. Maybe I can come over here and read some comments. Okay, good, Pamela. So I'm not the only one. Mark
I have dishes in the sink almost all the time when I go to cook. So, yeah. Colleen says, Jeff, your assisting skills are fabulous. Raven says she's OCD about everything. And Sue says she totally cleans up, but
I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. It's really hot in here, and the dogs are starting to get on my nerves. I love them, but when they start jumping around like this, and I don't know where they are now. That one little brown dog, he's the worst. Callie's okay. She's right here. George, I think, is just in the other room sleeping. So he's fine. But
Mark Grimes says, thank you for the salad dressing video that taught him the value of xanthan gum.
oh yeah. Awesome. I love using xanthan gum. Somebody just commented that it's I don't know where my scoop is. Somebody commented that it gives you stomach issues, but I haven't had any. I haven't noticed anything. You use such a small amount. But yeah, somebody mentioned that, and they gave me a suggestion of something else. So I'll try it. See if that works. I'm just really excited about this. And then we've got have our garnishes. So you washed the tomato already, but I don't think these got washed, did
I
they?
didn't wash those yet.
Okay. I'm only gonna need one.
It says 2. Oops.
I'm only gonna garnish after the fact because I don't want to reheat this later and have the cold garnish on there. So I'm only gonna cut a little bit. In fact, I'm not even gonna cut that tomato. I've got another tomato that's a little smaller that I'm gonna use. If they're still good. All right.
It's starting to smell good.
All right. Any comments, Mr. Long? It is smelling good.
KO says your videos are amazing. I watch them all the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
This is it. So they said, put a camera on a tripod and turn the foodie away from the main camera. Then go to a close-up of the foodie when Louise changes the broccoli split face to something like that.
Those didn't chop up very well, did they?
What's that?
I said these onions didn't chop up very well. That sounds complicated. I could see that leading to a lot of arguments between Jeff and me. Or Jeff and I, whichever it is, Mr. English.
Between
Jeff and me? Jeff and I. Okay. But how could there be an argument if we take Jeff out of the picture? So then it would be Jeff and I. So I have an argument with me?
No, it's the eye is if it's in the subject.
Can you argue with yourself?
The eye would be if
Yes, you
it's
can.
used as the subject.
Okay. All right.
George.
So that would lead to a lot of arguments between Jeff and me. Right? Okay. Yeah, because if I'm cooking, I'm zoned out. I don't pay a bit of attention to any of the cameras or anything like that. At one time, I've told the story before, but I'm sure it's a whole different audience here. What is that? Oh, it's telling me to shake. See how excited I got when something happened? I was not expecting. What? Okay, that just means we're at the house. Look at them. Look at them. Can you see them, Jeff? Oh my gosh, where are my good tongs? Where are my tongs?
They might be in there because you used them.
Yeah, but they're still okay. They're not contaminated. The other ones are raw. Raw meat. Okay. Oh, this is looking good. Oh, these are looking good. Now we're gonna flip. And we're gonna get the rest of them done. Oh my gosh, these are good. Now let's see if that's gonna be done. I'll be honest, I think my fail will probably be the onions and the zucchini and stuff. Should have thought that through a little bit more because I really think that they're not going to be cooked all the way. But hey.
That's where this thing cooking fast could be a problem because it's cooking too fast, getting everything done.
Shoot. Well, I mean, when you start to layer in a closed environment like this, it can get a little challenging. Now, these I like a little crisp. No, they're going to be good. Oh my goodness. If I go the whole 20 minutes, which the ribs can handle, the vegetables will be done. However, did I save any time from the oven recipe? No, I did not. So I don't know if there's any real advantages to doing it, to converting it from an oven recipe to the foodie. Because if the cook time is a total of an hour in the oven in a spread out casserole, so you got less depth, more surface area to heat, better airflow all the way around, and you do covered for a little bit and then uncovered, it may not be worth it to do it in the foodie. And that's just the facts.
Unless you don't like using your oven, like a lot of people would rather just cook in the food.
Yeah, sure, of course. I'm trying to now think, is there any way to make this easier but still have all the layers turn out the way that you would want them to be? And the answer is I can't think of one. I can't think of any way, because if you pressure cook the rest of the vegetables, you're just going to have soup. If you put it all in like a one pot, you're just going to end up with soup. So you really do have to stagger it and thicken that liquid up and create that gravy, that sauce on the bottom. I could have possibly stirred in the zucchini and all that stuff to get it into the liquid, which may have helped it cook a little faster than it being wedged in between, the ribs and the bottom layer. But yeah, I'm not sure. So anyway, but this is how I would do it off the cuff anyway. If I had time to think about it, maybe I might come up with a different way, but I don't know. Can you think of a different way, Jeff?
Sharon Springman wanted to know the original name of the recipe, so I'm going to pull that out.
Oh, okay.
The original name, I don't know what cookbook this is out of, Country Style Ribs and Corn.
Country Style Ribs and Corn. It's very basic, but I can tell that the ingredients are going to be amazing together, like a really amazing casserole dish, really. Very simple, very simple. And it might just be one for the oven. I could see doing it skillet too. So I could see now, okay, if I was going to make this perfect for me, okay, I don't care how long something takes me to cook it if it's perfect for me. What I would do is not do it as a casserole. I would probably, or do it like semi-casserole. I would pressure cook the ribs to get them tenderized. I would put my potatoes, I would par cook them, but not quite as long. So maybe even in the microwave or something, which I don't use, but maybe. Or like somebody said, do them prior in the foodie and then let them chill. I would put them in the bottom of a cast iron skillet and get those potatoes super, super, super crispy, right? Seasoned well, crisped up. Then I would put fresh corn, fresh onions, fresh zucchini and stuff like that. Sprinkle lightly with a little salt and pepper, and then put my par cooked ribs on top and bake in the oven. That's how I would do it. What do you think of that? Because get that crispy, and I wouldn't use the cream of corn. I would probably just use fresh corn. That sounds yummy to me. It's looking pretty good though. we're pretty much done. I'm just trying to get that center vegetable block cooked. All right, anything going on out there? It's been quiet. You guys are quiet tonight, or Jeff's not reading or something.
They're talking a lot amongst themselves.
Okay.
So Tina says that in her recipe, the ribs are browned on the stovetop before putting in the oven. And then she cooks covered, and then she cooks uncovered for a bit.
That would be the same as me sauteing them, searing them before we pressure cook them. So that's pretty much the same, I would think. I mean, I think it's the same gist. I'm just not sure, like, if it's going to save you time or anything like that doing it in the foodie. Or if the results will be as good. We'll find out. Well, I won't know, though. I won't know if they're as good because I haven't tried the original. But they look like they're going to be good.
Brittany Henderson says, I missed the intro. What's in the drink?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. It's empty. It was lime gin. Oh, no, not gin. Gin I cannot drink. I am not a nice person when I drink gin. Western Sun lime vodka, which I love. I love this brand. They have several different flavors, but I really like the lime. There's another one I like a lot. Do they have a cucumber? I think I really like their cucumber. And then just a little bit of Sprite Zero that I mixed in a blender with ice. So it was an icy drink, but it was a little too lime puckery. So I added in 2 drops of blue raspberry sugar-free drink mix, from Walmart, just 2 little drops. So it was blue. It was fun. It was a fun drink. It was really nice. It was a nice tasting, well-balanced. I liked it. I would make it again. But now I'm ready to eat. Jeff turned the air conditioning off on me.
Somebody said, what's that?
And it turned really hot.
People are thinking that there's a mat under your foodie, but that's actually just the legs for this.
Oh, no, that's just the foodie. The other one doesn't have it? Yeah, the other one has it. Wait a minute. Where's the...
No, the regular one doesn't. This one has that extended leg because when you lift the lid, it would tip.
Oh, over there. Oh, yeah. Right. All right, so this has been, 17 minutes? The ribs look good. Let's see if it's done. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, they do. They look really good. All right. Let's see. Put these the right way. There we go. Oh, they are really rendering nicely, aren't they? All right. Moment of truth. I got a lot of onions. It looks nice, though. I'm sure you serve it usually all together, but I'm only going to put this on this part. It looks really pretty. Look, that's a little fancier than casserole normally is. So I kind of like that. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, it looks good.
I mean, it looks good. I got a lot of onions. All right, let's see. I know these are going to be cooked for me, but maybe not other people because they're going to have a little bite to them. Oh. I think they're perfect. Now, let's see what the flavor is. I think in the future, just because of the way these cooked and everything, I would have been happier if I took the peels off. I think so. That tastes really nice. Very, very light. There's nothing like overpowering at all about this. I think it needs a little more salt. The potatoes are almost like a chunky mashed. One thing I'm not getting is a true corn flavor. So if it's called pork and corn casserole, I would expect way more corn flavor, and I'm not getting that. But look, these cut just with a fork. Hot.
So you never ended up using the milk, and I don't even know how that came into the original recipe.
Probably meant with sauce. I'll tell you why I didn't use it. Whoa. There's water. It's so good though. Now for me, everything's just a tad under seasoned for me.
Somebody said if you had to do it over again, would you dice or mince the onions or just like that?
You know, I didn't taste an onion, so let me taste it. I like my onions like this. Okay, I would slice them, but boy, that's a hard call. I would slice them, but I would sear them. I would saute them.
That's what Pamela said.
Mm-hmm.
Saute the onions.
Yeah, definitely. The texture's fine, but the flavor's raw and not pleasant, really. So it's a little spicy onion. So yeah, I would definitely do things differently with this. I wouldn't. This is not a home run, but I like it. I mean, I like it. It's pretty. It just doesn't have enough flavor for me. So let's see if I add some things. Well, here, Jeff, before I start doing that, let's have you come and taste it. Because Jeff I like the salt a little bit more than he does, I think. All right, here we go.
Try to get potato, onion, and zucchini or squash. It does need something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a little salt.
Mm-hmm. You don't need a knife.
You don't need a knife? Really?
No.
Oh, look at that.
I hope that's not as hot. They're delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Those country ribs are good.
Yeah, I like country ribs. Those are good.
Yeah. It's just all like a little bland for us, don't you think?
Yeah.
And I would like to have more corn flavor. What do you think?
Yeah, and I don't know why it doesn't really have a corn flavor unless it's just not the best cream corn in the world or something.
What this kind of reminds me of is a succotash.
When you scooped, did you just get fresh corn or did you get some of the cream corn?
Well, it's all mixed in, and I went down deep. You know, I went down.
Be surprised if the ear of corn just isn't that good because this time of year.
Maybe, but I mean, I got enough corn, I think. I put a little bit of salt. Now let me see. All right. Any comments? Anything from? That little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic really took it up. I might even put like a little bit. Gus, you can't have any. Yeah, this is good. I might have to work on something like this. For next summer. It's too late for me to get it tested and out before we're ready for soups and stuff. But this is a nice summer meal. So I'm gonna have to work on it. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, anything before we go?
Looks awesome. Everybody says Gus wants a bite. He always wants a bite.
He always wants a bite.
Get a bite. What is raisin?
You could use some butter too.
A couple people want to know the brand name of the blue raspberry drink liquid.
Walmart. Great value. I'll show it to you. I used it in my bomb pop. Great value.
Put it on the cutting board right in front of the plate.
Is that good?
Yep. Be able to read that.
Now maybe some extra butter in here.
Butter would make it. Butter would bring out the potatoes and the corn.
Oh, I was going to say why I didn't use the milk. Mm. It's very good though. Okay. The reason why I didn't use the milk is because, sorry, there's not the evaporation in the pressure cooker that there is in the oven. So we have a lot of liquid under here. I mean, there's still a good amount of liquid. So I've been thinking, well, the milk's not really going to add anything to it. You know, it's not going to make it better. It's not going to make it taste better or anything like that. Now, cream might have brought that richness into that sauce. So that might be something I would consider in the future to make it a little bit creamier. You know, this is a hard one because I'm almost like, this is a 2-part meal, not a 1-part meal, which is, that probably is just me. I'm not a casserole person because I like each individual thing cooked perfectly for me. Okay. Doesn't mean it's perfectly for everybody, but perfectly for me. And in order to achieve that, I would have to concentrate on this part of it and then concentrate on this part of it. You can't do it all together easily, in my opinion. So that being said, though, I think it has a lot of potential to go a lot of different ways, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be thinking about this probably all night, thinking how I can make this better. And I know I can. So hopefully next year we'll get a recipe out. All right. Anything else before we go?
Nope. I think everybody liked it. It was here at the end. We still have 238 people watching it. Which
Wow.
is probably
That's a lot of people.
The most for a tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry I lost it there in the middle of everything. And when it starts to get really hot in here, like it gets hot. And I just feel all this heat. And I have a sunburn. So I'm putting off heat. And I'm feeling kind of miserable actually. So I'm kind of like not right. So next time we're not turning off the air conditioner. He does that when we film. And sometimes I'm like, no, you just, I don't care about the noise, but we always keep it off when we're filming our edited videos. So I have to take like little breaks sometimes to be like, but when you're live, you can't do that. So you get to see me have a little meltdown, literally.
So this one was an hour and a half total cook time, maybe an hour.
Yeah, probably.
There's the pre-talk, the prep,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. The cook time.
Probably about an hour. I did how many minutes did I go? I don't remember now. I had 3 minutes left, so I went 17 minutes. We did an 18-minute. Yeah, it's probably about an hour, so probably about the same amount of time. Maybe a little less than the oven recipe, but not much. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to say goodnight to you because I'm going to go sit by the air conditioner vent so I can cool down. And then I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. So, all right. Love you all. And I will see you next Tuesday for our live Q&A.